Well, good morning, everybody. My name is Jenny Basile. I am the care coordinator for P23 Retreat, and I'm not normally on the lives or the podcast that we do. I usually like to stay behind the scenes caring for our guest, but this month we're going to be talking about rest and the importance of rest in healing and renewing our bodies. And Cindy, one of our co-founders, is taking an intentional time of rest during the month of March, which is super important. So she asked me if I would jump on and if I would be willing to do some live events while she is away and seeking intentional rest. And I said, sure, because honestly, this year, 2026, end of last year, I really started pursuing rest for myself. And I thought, this is a perfect topic. I love talking about rest. I love talking about how I've been able to incorporate rest into my life. And so I'm going to be on every Monday morning at 10 a.m. for the next 4 weeks. So this is one of 4. And today we're going to talk about rest versus sleep, what they are, why you need both. And so I'm going to first start with jumping into something I Googled and printed. I have my ideas of what rest and sleep are, but I thought, let me just put these into Google and let's see what Google says. And so I'm going to take a moment and I'm going to read some of these things to you and kind of go through and talk about what it means to me. So today we're going to discuss rest versus sleep. All right. So Google tells me that sleep is a necessary state of unconsciousness for deep bodily repair and hormonal changes, while rest is a conscious, active state of reduced physical or mental exertion, such as lounging or meditating. Both are essential for wellness, so that's key, but rest cannot replace the critical, restorative, and neurological functions of deep sleep. So a moment for that. You need both rest and sleep in your daily life. And sometimes you go to sleep and you wake up and you're just as tired as you were when you went to sleep. And so that is why it's important to incorporate rest throughout the day, because it gets your body set up for the sleep that you'll have at night, that it is more intentional and restful. And I know that in my life, I really focused on the number of hours I would get to sleep. And I really just hyperfixated on that. I need 8 hours. I need 9 hours. And a few months ago, I just let go of that. I let go of the thought process of how much sleep I needed, what time I needed to get in bed, and really started focusing on restful sleep. And restful sleep for me can look like now 5 to 6 hours, or it can look like 8 hours. It just depends. I lay down now at night. It's an intentional process for me to lay down at night. And I have a deep faith in Jesus. And so I submit my sleep and rest to him. And I ask him to give me rest at night. And for me, that's really important. And it has been super helpful and has worked for me. So, but that's what's working for me to get rest and restful sleep. But also throughout the day, I try to incorporate pockets of rest. And for some people, rest can look like actually just sitting and not doing anything. For me, that's not restful. Restful things for me are typically centering my mind on something else that keeps me away from the busyness of, let's say, work or obligations I have. So I am next week going to go more specifically into that in this journal here. It's the My Messy Grief Journal. And as you see, I've tabbed some things which are restful to me. But in this journal, there are a lot of different activities that you can use to give yourself some intentional rest during the day. So it's important to have rest during the day to set yourself up for restful sleep at night. Keep that in mind. Let's go over some of the key differences here. Consciousness, sleep is a state of unconsciousness. Rest is done while conscious, right? So rest is found, you can have a restful sleep, but rest daily is found in doing something that kind of turns your mind off to the obligatory things you have going on, like taking a minute for yourself. So rest is conscious, sleep is an unconscious state. So repair, sleep, especially REM and deep sleep, repairs cells, tissues, and brain function. Rest reduces tension and provides mental clarity, but doesn't allow for the same deep physiological repairs. So here what that is saying is you need both, right? But sleep actually does some physiological things for you, like repairing cells and tissue and brain function. But rest reduces, so important, tension and can provide mental clarity. So often we climb into our bed at night and we have 1,000 things going on in our mind. And so that is tension, right? And so then we can't fall asleep, and then we get stressed out when we can't fall asleep. And then the cycle just starts where you're just not sleeping and you're staring at the wall, or maybe you grab your phone and you start scrolling through it again. So finding intentional times of rest throughout the day will help you towards having a restful sleep at night, because it shifts your mind. So keep that in mind. When you're seeking out, if you go, I don't have time to rest today, rest is crucial. It is crucial to get your mind focused towards restorative sleep at night. Okay. So maybe you're resting multiple times a day. Maybe you make a pocket just for one time during the day, but this is for you and your health. It makes you a better, stronger employee, better parent, better spouse, to get rest. Maybe you only have 10 minutes for it. Maybe you have several hours. I'm going to tell you next week about what I do when I have just a couple of minutes versus a few hours, versus maybe days, like a retreat or something. And that's what we do here at P23 Retreat, right? We send people away on intentional restorative sabbaticals for multiple days, because we believe so much in rest and the power of rest in your life and what it can do for you. So if you want to know more about us and you don't know a lot about us, just check out our website at p23retreat.org. And we serve grieving parents across the United States, providing them with intentional times of rest and sabbatical to press pause on the world around them, whatever's going on. And we all need to press pause. It is important for all of us to find rest. So now let's talk about types of rest. Rest is multifaceted, including physical, mental, emotional, social, sensory, creative, and spiritual forms. So I talked about this journal, and by the way, this was authored by our co-founder, Cindy Scheffelbarger. It's a great resource. And so turning to these pages, there are creative ways to rest, ways that touch your emotion or your senses, or physical things that you can do in this journal. And I want to thank you if you've joined me today while we're live. If not, you'll be able to see this recorded on our Facebook page. And the first 3 people that comment rest, I'm going to send one of these journals to. Okay. But I'll also link the journal if you just want to purchase it. We have it on Amazon. You can get it there. It really is a great resource. So I want you to know about that. But we're going to give away 3 to the first 3 people that comment rest. Okay. And then need. You can never get enough hours of sleep, right? But still, you can get enough hours of sleep but still feel exhausted if you lack other forms of rest, such as emotional or mental rest, right? So there we go. We talked about waking up and feeling exhausted and not rested. So you can get enough hours of sleep and still wake up exhausted if you lack other forms of rest. So it is crucial during the day that you are intentional about finding rest, okay? Finding spaces that you can just sit and take 10 minutes, an hour, 30 minutes, whatever that looks like for you, 5 minutes. Unplug, do something that lets you breathe in and breathe out that way, okay? So those are the key differences between sleep and rest. And let's talk about what you need, okay? So you need sleep. It's essential, they say, to get 7 to 9 hours, whoever they are, Google, of nightly routine sleep to heal and reset. And I agree, it's really important, but I think that's really individualized. And I think that's why they say 7 to 9. I know some people maybe rest for 6 hours and that's what they need. So sleep and rest are individual to you. What rest looks like for me is not the same as what rest looks like for our co-founder, Cindy. She's very artistic and creative. I'm not, but she finds great outlet in resting in art. And next week, I'll tell you how I find rest. It's not the same. Rest is individual. So don't feel like you have to take on the identity of somebody else's rest for you to get rest. You have to find what works for yourself. So that's crucial. So also, when you are exhausted, if you are physically tired, you need more sleep, right? If you are burned out, stressed out, or unfocused, despite sleeping enough, you likely need more varied forms of rest, right? So both rest and sleep, crucial to restoring our body, crucial to making us healthy, crucial to making us better employees, parents, spouses, friends, volunteers, whatever it is you do. I hope that this has helped you kind of see the difference between sleep and rest, and understanding that you not only need that sleep at night, but you need to rest during the day. And again, resting during the day helps your mind reset and get focused on the things that are important, and it reduces tension and stress. Therefore, your sleep at night is more restful and you can wake up refreshed. I hope this has helped you today. I want to remind you that if you miss any of our lives or our podcast, you can always go to our YouTube channel. You'll find every podcast and live there. So our YouTube handle is just P23 Retreat, or you can go to our Spotify, which is where we have our podcast. You can listen to them in the car. They're all filled with great information. And so we hope that that's helpful to you. We hope that you feel connected with us. We hope that you're able to learn from the things that we share with you. And again, if you're interested, comment rest, the first 3 people that do that, and I'm going to send you a My Messy Grief journal where you can maybe find some things that are helpful to you and use it as a guide. So join me next Monday morning. Next Monday morning, we're going to talk about how I rest and what that looks like for me. And it'll be fun for you to jump on here and tell me what rest looks like for you. You can always comment during the live and we can talk about that. So friends, thank you. I'm so glad that you joined me today. This is out of my comfort zone to do something like this, but I love this ministry so much that when Cindy said, hey, can you talk about rest? I said, well, you know what? Rest is something I've been pursuing, so I can absolutely talk about it. Again, have a great day. Join me next Monday, and let's talk about how I rest, and then maybe that will be helpful to you. All right? Have a great day. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.